going to do something a little different this week. This menu is one of my favorite menus. Perfect for summer. And what our specialty is we're going to cook tomahawk steaks for 140 people. So the starter tonight is LM tomatoes with burrata and balsamic drizzle with a fresh focaccia bread. The tomatoes will be laid out, salted, bit of olive oil, burrata goes on top. Then we've got some lemon and lime basil and some purple basil as well. A couple of little pretty cornflowers on the top and a little balsamic drizzle. Now the balsamic drizzle is basically a big pot of balsamic vinegar, and then I reduce it down to about a third. Add some honey, maybe a little chili or two, and then I put a tiny bit of confit garlic in it. So, tomahawk steaks. As I said, I know you're all very capable of cooking some tomahawk steaks for the family or your friends. This, my friends, is tomahawk steaks for 140 people. Now, I've just had them out of the cool room. These have been in the cool room for about 2 weeks, just with a little salt on them, and they're sort of just dry aging a little bit. You can see they've lost a bit of moisture. So it's going to be absolutely lovely. We've had this fan on and the muslin, so it's trying to keep the flies away at bay at this time of year. But these are ready for the smoker. Now, we do 1 per 2 people. Believe me, that's plenty. These beautiful tomahawks. They're going to go into the smoker now for about 2.5 hours, and we're going to get them to about 45 degrees. Then we move them into these cages, and we can get about 12 tomahawks in a cage. Then we give them a little lemon and mustard butter on the top, and we fire roast them over the coals. And they are just going to be incredible. They're probably going to be served roughly at about 60. There's a lot of fat on these, and you need to render that down and get the flavour through it. So it's time to get them in the smoker. So we're going to load tomahawks here into the smoker. I lit the smoker probably about an hour ago. As you can see, it's quite a white, clean smoke. You don't want any of that dirty smoke. That just makes them a little bit nasty. So we're going to get all these tomahawks, and I'm just going to cheat a little bit. I like to put a probe into a couple of these. It'd be nice to know when it gets to about 45, 50. Still going to need a fair bit of cooking after that though. Don't worry. Space is paramount. So we're locked and loaded. They're ready to go. So that gives us 70 tomahawk steaks. So my beautiful smoker made from my Sanderson sculpture. I love this thing. Let's go think about some salad. I know, tomahawk people couldn't have said anything worse. But trust me, this is a good salad. We always like to offer a vegetarian option, even on tomahawk nights. Yes, we get some vegetarians. As you can see, we've got about 5 of them or 6 of them in tonight. So what we've done, we've fire roasted these lovely butternut squashes. Carolina's made a lovely little vegetarian mix of some lentils and some veggies. We spoon them into the cavity there, and then I made a wonderful wild garlic pesto with fresh wild garlic and the pine nuts and the parmesan. So what we're going to do, we're just going to spoon a little bit of this over the top of the lentils, like so. And then these are going to go back in the oven just to warm them up for service. And that pesto is going to melt through the lentils, make it a little bit salty, and we're going to have some very happy vegetarians. We got you covered. In weather like this, an incredible salad is really all you need with your potatoes and your tomahawks. So our good friend Bunny over at Wye Valley grows this incredible salad. Now it's so flavoursome, but so beautiful as well. So we lay some of this out on a plate. This is the monk's beard. Check out an earlier episode where we visit Bunny. You'll see all about this stuff. This is not only extremely good for you, it's bloody delicious. So we get the monk's beard. We're going to put some of this asparagus in cages. Now I've just got some little olive oil on this. It's been marinating for a day. These are going to go in the cages and just get a nice hot blasting over the coals, and then we're going to chop them up and put them in. These are chickpeas that I roasted in the oven with just a little bit of olive oil and some salt. They're delicious. Yum. Some feta just gets crumbled over the top, and you want a bit of crunch. So these are Simon's nuts. You make your own jokes. Simon's nuts. Now this is just a mixture of pistachio, cashews, hazelnuts, walnuts, almonds, macadamias. If you have a nut allergy, it's your worst nightmare, but we don't have to put it on. Also with some sesame seeds and some sumac and some salt. Those sprinkled on a salad are a thing of beauty. These are pizza croutons. Now they're just pizza breads ripped up, and then we just roast them with some olive oil, some confit garlic, and some herbs. I've used thyme and oregano. Once again, going to make it delicious. So these all get laid out. We're going to show you how we unfold it all, or as my wife would like to say, how the night unravels. Gets a bit chaotic. Our potatoes have been roasting, they've been boiled, they've had a light roasting, then they're going to go on the chappers with a very light rub. Now I'm going to use a mixture of lemon pepper and a shawarma mix, like a Middle Eastern shawarma mix, and some salt. And they're going to be just incredible with some sage and confit garlic. We're finishing up with a hazelnut cheesecake tonight with ice cream. Perfect. All right, let's let it unravel under the nut tree. So these tomahawks have been on for about 3.5 hours. Let's check them out. The temp gauge says that they're running at about 45, which is perfect. So that's given them a nice little smoke. And now we're going to rest them, and then they're going to go in the cages with a little lemon and mustard butter, and they get fired properly.